Indiana Governor Mike Pence joins us now live. Governor, welcome. Good to have you here this morning.
Thank you, Martha.
You decided you do not want this charming family that Daniel Malloy has described. Why?
Well, Martha, look, last month the FBI director testified that there were significant gaps in our ability to confirm the identity or the intention of people coming into this country in the Syrian refugee program. Then 1 week ago today, someone who used that Syrian refugee program was a part of the horrific terrorist attacks that took place in Paris. And as governor, while Indiana has a long tradition of welcoming refugees to our state, which continues to this very day, the safety and security of the people of Indiana is my highest priority, and I believed it was appropriate to suspend our resettlement efforts relative to Syrian refugees unless and until the administration and the Congress engage in an exhaustive review, as the Congress voted for yesterday, and bring about the kind of changes that could assure us that people coming into this country don't represent a threat to the people of my state.
Understood.
This is not about, Martha, this is not about that little family, and God bless them, and God bless all the people that have been displaced by the violence of and all of what's happening in Syria and across the region. This is really about recognizing that we have to stop, we have to set the political posturing aside, and we have to work together, as you saw Republicans and Democrats yesterday in Congress, to fix this system to protect our nation.
All right, but you know, at some point we're going to have to go case by case, right? And at some point, this family has been vetted over the course of the last several years. So wouldn't it be wise, because, you know, you think about, your mind goes to the picture that was shown, and obviously it tugs at everyone's heartstrings, of that little boy who was found dead on the beach. There are clearly families, and many people would say, you know, if the United States had played a stronger role a long time ago, these families would never have left their homeland in the first place. But at some point, you have to say, these people need to be allowed in. You know, Catholic Charities is involved with this family. They say that the family knows, has friends that live in the Indianapolis area that we're going to take them in. I'm sure they've been spoken to as well. So is there no vetting process that is good enough for you at this point?
Well, Martha, what I would tell you, and you know, before I was governor, I was on the Foreign Affairs Committee. I was actually on Capitol Hill on September 11th, and the reality is, as you can see on your screens today in Mali, as we saw a week ago today in Paris, Beirut before that, the Russian airliner before that, we live in very challenging and very uncertain times. We are facing a determined enemy, and when the FBI director and the head of Homeland Security testify that we don't have sufficient information to ensure that people coming into this country through the Syrian refugee program don't represent a threat to our country. I just think it's prudent for us to pause, as Congress voted in a bipartisan basis yesterday, and more than 30 governors, including a Democrat governor.
I hear you, Governor. You're not alone,
pause
for sure.
and review this program. We have to put the safety and security of the American people first, and then we can go forward with the compassion and the resettlement program and refugee programs that have always been a part of the American identity. We all know that there are people out there who certainly deserve that from us, and also people who absolutely cannot be let into this country. That's really clear. One thing I want to ask you before I let you go. Are you concerned that this focus on the refugee issue is taking our eye off the ball? Is it sort of, you know, there's so much vitriol going on between the president and Republicans right now over this issue, and I wonder if we don't have more pressing things to worry about in terms of imminent terrorist plots and what we need to be keeping our eye on. Well, look, I commend, you know, Governor Maggie Hassan of New Hampshire, a Democrat governor. I commend more than 30 governors across the country who provided leadership in saying, look, this is not about politics, it's not about posturing, it's really about the safety and security of the American people. And a huge bipartisan vote yesterday in the Congress that simply said, let's put common sense in the security of our nation first. Let's pause this program, engage in an exhaustive review. You know, national security is not a partisan issue. My hope is that the Senate will take the bill up quickly, the President will reconsider it, and we'll be able to move forward with this kind of a program in a way that we can be confident it's compassionate and meets our security needs.
Governor, thank you. Sorry, we're up against a hard